What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl Team Stacie, and I'm back. Baby, I said I'm back on another YouTube video, and if you're new to my channel, hello. And if you're a returning subscriber, what's up? Okay, so before we get into the video, two things I want to mention. One, as you guys can tell, I am losing my voice, y'all. Oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna get into the reason why I'm losing my voice in another video. So when you guys watch my, like, you know, hydrating makeup tutorial, you guys will get like a more understanding of why my voice is almost gone. Yeah, and then another thing I wanted to say to you guys is please excuse my dryer. I'm actually drying clothes right now, so you might hear like tumbling and, you know, a little bit of zippers and stuff in there, so just ignore that. I don't know if you guys are gonna hear that because I'm gonna put music on this video, but I just wanted to say that, okay? Without further ado, we're gonna get straight into today's video. I asked you guys on my last tutorial, if you guys haven't watched it, go ahead and check it out. But I did ask you guys, what did you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see a eyebrow tutorial? And some of you guys did tell me you want to see an eyebrow tutorial, and I kind of just wanted to give it to y'all anyway. So that's what we're doing today. This video is not gonna be too long. It's gonna be very beginner friendly, very, very, very affordable. Like, girl, when I say, let me think, let me do the math real quick. This tutorial will come to like literally $10, maybe $11, but girl, like these eyebrow products are super cheap. I literally found the cheapest and the best like kind of stuff to do your eyebrows. Okay, I found like dupes to everything. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get right into this video, girl. Period. Okay, I'm gonna take these clips and clip my hair out. Oh, it looks so cute. This is like a hairstyle. Okay, this side doesn't need to be clipped, so I'll just put another clip here. Tell me this don't look like a hairstyle. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. Okay, guys, so the first product that we're gonna take is the Wet n Wild's Micro Brow Ultimate Brow Pencil. Y'all, that was a tongue twister for me, but we are gonna go ahead and take this brow pencil, and it is in brunette. Every single product that I use in this tutorial will be linked down below for you guys to purchase, just so it's easier for you guys. I try to find a lot of things on Amazon because Amazon literally has like same-day shipping. I don't know if, you know, you might not have a car, you might not, you know, want to go to the store, whatever the case may be. So I'll link everything down below with Amazon links. But for the most part, you can get this at Walgreens and like Walmart and stuff. But I literally live for this brow pencil. It is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills micro brow pencils, you know, all those pencils, Benefit, all of that type of stuff. I feel like this is a dupe because it is so tiny. It is so micro, and it literally just has a perfect formula to glide on your eyebrows, and it is inexpensive. It's like $2, $3, so you can't beat that, girl. You can't. For the best brows, you want your brows to be clean. One, clean of product and clean of like dirts and oils that will be on your face naturally, and two, clean as in removing, you know, unwanted hairs. Okay, so just using a smaller mirror, you really get to see like closer up to your eyes, and like, you know, versus being far. First thing you want to do is you just want to brush your brow hairs upward. Okay, you just want to brush it, you know, just following that natural shape. So the front is just gonna literally go directly up, and you know, you're just kind of keeping it in line, keeping it uniform. So for me, my eyebrows, I don't really have much hair, so I just be working with what I got. But say you have longer eyebrow hairs, if you pull it up and it's like coming all the way up, you want to like kind of brush it to the side a little bit, so they're still like, you know, uniform. Okay, and what we do to one side, we do to the other, sis. All right, guys, so now we're gonna take the brow pencil, and you guys are using the same one as me. You guys see that this is very micro, but if you're not using an eyebrow pencil like me, if you're using regular pencil that you get from the hair store, I would just say sharpen it until the point is very sharp, and that's gonna give you more of a like precise brow versus using it when it's like been used and it's getting a little flat and dull. Okay, that's a little pro tip. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're literally going to follow the natural shape of our brow. Okay, so I start in the front, and I'm very light-handed. Also, when you start in the front, I don't like to start directly in the front of my brow. I like to bring it out just a little bit more. And if it's too far out later on, you can clean it up with concealer, but I do like to start like that. And now we're just gonna follow the natural shape of our brow. We're not gonna draw on the hairs, we're gonna draw right on the base of the hairs. And we're just following that natural shape. So as you see, I started here, we're going up into the arch, and now we're gonna bring it slightly back down towards like kind of like the ear. Don't go that far down, girl. And as you see, I'm making tiny strokes. I feel like using tiny strokes, you can be more precise versus just going straight across. That's a little bit, it's more room for mistakes like that. So after you make that first line, you're gonna take the spoolie. This is on the back of this eyebrow pencil, but you can get some off of Amazon if you would like. I can link that down below as well. I have a set, but you can just get, disposable spoolies and just brush it. You wanna diffuse that line, and I'm going right onto the line and I'm just brushing it into my brow. Just so that line is not too harsh. So same thing goes for the top. It's not that hard. The hardest thing about doing your brows is having a steady hand, but you want to go and follow the natural shape of the brow. And as you guys see, I didn't start right at the front. Kind of started a little bit towards the, front / middle, and I just kind of work my way to the front. And we are just literally following the natural shape of our brow using tiny strokes. And the smaller your strokes, the more control you have over the shape. So this is pretty much what our brows is looking like right now. And like I said, you can just brush through it just a little bit, making sure the line is not too harsh. So now when it comes into filling your brows, personally, a lot of people like to go and do like hair strokes through their brows. I like to just go straight back. I just like the look that it gives me. It's really up to you, but for me, I like to go straight back. So I'm just going into the areas that I see is a little sparse. So if I see skin through there, I'm just gonna lightly take my eyebrow pencil and just fill it in. I do not like my brows to be too dark. I like them to look semi-natural. So that's pretty much it. And then for the front, you want to have a very, very light hand, and I just move it backwards, same way, just like that, right? This is what the brow's looking like. Now we're just going to take our spoolie one more time, and we are just going to now brush the eyebrow hairs back upwards. And this is just working the product into our brow without us having harsh lines and like clumpy product in our brow. And here is a pro tip. If you have an issue with your eyebrows looking even and kind of like matching each other, when you're doing a second brow, let's say that this brow is naturally a little bit higher up than this one. You want to take just look at them and try to match it. So this brow starts up here, but this line is all the way down here. So I went just a tiny bit lower just to match that line. That's what helps me when you have when you're dealing with crooked brows, okay? So besides that, every step is pretty much the same, but from time to time, I do look over from eye to eye to make sure my arch is starting at the same spot, my tail is ending around the same spot. Obviously, it's not gonna be perfect, but that's what's gonna get you more of you're gonna get by. And people are not going to see discrepancies with your brow. It's going to look like perfect to them. You might see a little discrepancy, but no one else will. So as you guys can see, the brows are not giving sisters or cousins. They're not twins, they're not sisters, they're cousins right now. But it's okay, girl, because we're gonna go and we're gonna conceal and we're gonna make them look the same, okay? If you guys have been on my channel for a few months now, honestly, I just got into this concealer and it really is my favorite. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I like to use medium warm. Medium warm is a little bit more highlighting for me, but I like to go on with this concealer because I'm gonna still do a full face later on today. But you could definitely go for, if you're my shade, if you want to, you can go for a concealer that's just a tad bit darker if you're only doing your brows that day. And I'm just gonna take a flat brush, a flat concealer brush, any flat brush. I got this from Ross. First thing I want to do is I'm gonna go in with that concealer and I'm gonna coat the front and the back of my brush with concealer, and that just helps it glide on smoothly. So instead of concealing your brows with the brush going up like this, I like to go with the side And that's because it just gives me a little bit more control. So I'll get a little bit more concealer on the side. And I just feel like it just gives me a little bit more control of my brush. So I hold it like a pencil right on the side, and I go right there, and I just follow the natural shape. And I do move my brush around from holding it this way to holding it this way. Whatever feels comfortable for you, you do that, okay? So I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna and this part is probably the only part that you need to have like a super steady hand. Okay, so now when it comes to blending out our eyebrow concealer, what I like to do is I don't like to drag, I like to pat. So what you're gonna do is you're literally just going to pat the edges of this concealer down. Just pat it. It doesn't need to be perfect because I'm gonna go in with another brush that's gonna really do the blending, but we're gonna just pat. This is just gonna keep the coverage, especially if later on you're gonna go in with eye work. If you're going in with eyeshadow, it just kind of helps with it looking more clean. I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. I actually got this brush from Amazon. It's just a big, dense, fluffy brush, and that's what I'm gonna use to just kind of blend out the concealer. So now I'm just raising up my brow so I have more room and I don't ruin my eyebrow. And I'm just going to pat the concealer into my skin. Patting is the best way to blend, child. Pat, pat, pat. So we're just gonna go in and we're just gonna pat, pat, pat all across. And then I'm just gonna slightly start swiping just a little bit just to diffuse the harsh line. So only swiping at the end, the edge. We're just gonna diffuse that harsh line. So now you could barely tell we have concealer. You see it lightly, but not too much. And you know, it's still giving concealed brows. So now we're gonna do the same thing to the top. We are literally going to follow the shape. I like to work on the side of the brush. I feel like this way would be so scary for me, girl. I feel like I will mess up. But I'm just gonna just slide that concealer. I'm actually running out on my brush, but it's gonna work. So we're just literally using tiny strokes and we're just following the natural shape and just making sure the line remains straight. That's the whole point of concealing. We're just trying to keep the line straight. What's the next step I told y'all? We're gonna take that same concealer brush and we are literally just going to pat on the edges of that concealer. We're gonna pat, just press this into the skin. Press, 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 press. Okay, now I'm gonna take the fluffy brush and we are just going to do the same thing. We are going to press this into the skin. I'm just using patting motions until this completely disappears into my skin. Okay. And now I'm going to use swiping motions just to diffuse the edges of the concealer like we did last time. But for this eyebrow, sometimes when you're switching, it does get a little bit uncomfortable. For this brow, I do, for the most part, keep my brush this way. It's just easier for me. When I get to the top though, I will turn my head and just, you know, you guys will kind of see what I'm doing. But here's the thing with your brows, you just want to work with however you feel comfortable. If you feel more comfortable with your brush being flat, you're not going to be able to keep your brush flat and your head still. You kind of want to turn it to help yourself out. I know that helps me, but it's all about being comfortable, because if you're uncomfortable, your hand's going to get shaky and that's when it's just not going to look the best, okay? So just get comfortable in doing your brow. Whatever works best for you. Personally, like I said, I like to start like this and then I'll, you know, probably go flat. Whatever works for you. Hopefully I'm making sense.
I'll be yours. Tell me your joys and your problems. I'll be more than a man for you. I'll be your friend. Call me and I'll be riding. Tell me
So after we concealed both brows, they're very much giving, they're giving sisters. They give them related, okay? You know what I'm saying? But another thing I want to do is I just want to go into the middle because I feel like my brows are just a tiny bit too close. So what I'm going to do is whatever's on the leftover on my fluffy brush, I like to just kind of go up and down and just kind of put that on my the front of my brow. It helps move it back and it helps give my brow a more diffused look versus being like too blocky. I like my brows to be blended and, you know, I like the fronts to be a little bit more diffused. So after that, that definitely pulls my brows apart. Then I'm just gonna take the spoolie and just kind of brush the front just so it's nice and blended. So we're basically done with our brows, but I have one more key step. It is lash glue. So if you have any clear lash glue, you want to try this step out. I actually learned this tip from Lachey Clams. I do this with my clients. I like to do it for myself. So if you have a problem with your brows not lasting all day or smudging, if you have a problem with, you know, them just dullling out, or you know, you like to kind of see the hairs throughout your brows, this trick gets it every time, girl. So it's super duper easy. It has to be a clear glue. It can't be the black one. So all you do is you're gonna take a spoolie, like a disposable spoolie. You can use the one that comes with your brow pencil, but I wouldn't want to mess this one up. So I like to use my ones that I can just throw away when I'm done. It's up to you. So you're gonna take a little bit of the brow glue, and you want to work fast. You're just gonna literally just kind of coat it on your brows, your brow hair, and you don't need a lot. Well, I definitely don't need a lot, but you don't need a lot. And you're just gonna lightly brush that through the hair, and just make sure you just try to stay within the line, within your eyebrow. Don't get on the concealer. If you do, it's okay, but try your best not to. And that's why I like to do it after I conceal. It just helps. Because doing this before your concealer, you're gonna have like a chunky, it's just gonna look nasty when you try to conceal after if you get glue on, you know, other parts of your skin. So I just keep it right on my hair, and as you guys can see, you can see my brow hairs through my brow, and I'm gonna show you guys the difference. So I want you guys to look at this brow, look at how you can see the strokes in the brow hairs, and look at this one. It's a little bit more fake looking, it's a little bit more product-y, whereas this one, it is, you can literally look at it and see the brow hairs. I think it is such a good step, such a good tip. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue. Make sure you work very fast because it does dry pretty fast, and you don't want just chunks of glue on your eyebrows. You really wanna work this into your eyebrow hairs. So now we're just gonna take it and we're just gonna brush the hairs, brush the front hairs upward, and everything else up and out, up and back. You can see it's getting a little tough already. It's trying. Tell me these brows is not giving, girl. Tell me. All right, you guys. So this is pretty much it for the tutorial. This was super inexpensive, super beginner friendly. It's just it. I literally love this. These are all, excuse me, drugstore products, okay? Your brows are not gonna smudge, they're not gonna move. My hairs are a little bit sticky, so I can't do too much, but like I'm pressing on my finger and there is like no transfer. Like let me rub on it. Let me rub on my brow. I can't rub too hard because it's a little sticky still, but like there is literally no transfer on my hands whatsoever. Like Stop playing. All right, you guys, my bad, my camera died, but I did want to go ahead and just let you guys know that this is the end of the video. Hopefully this video was very, very helpful for you. If you guys watched it all the way through, please go ahead and comment this emoji down. It's gonna be so funny because, you know, some people eyebrows be looking crazy, but yours not gonna look crazy after following this tutorial. Okay, my love, so this is the end. I keep saying that. I love you guys so much and can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.